Hey guys, it's Dr. Downey Sugai, board certified dermatologist. Holy cow, we are seeing so much dry skin this time of the year, especially this transitional period where we go from summer to fall, hot to cool weather. A lot of people are having flares in their hands and their back in clinic while they're getting their skin checked. I'm seeing excoriations from my patients scratching during the night while they're sleeping or consciously scratching during the day. We're gonna be talking about the 5 tips for those with dry, itchy skin. So if you have dry, flaky, tight skin on the face, body, hands, this video is for you. So our skin can get dry for various reasons. Most of the time I see dry skin with advanced age. As we get older, it's harder to hold on to moisture. We're on different medications, say diuretics, and we're urinating more frequently to drop our blood pressure. It's also drying out our skin as well. And also when you're older, you might have other comorbidities like hypothyroidism. And when your thyroid is low, you're gonna be using thyroid hormone, whatever that's available for other things like your bones, your brain, and metabolism. But your skin and hair miss out. So you can have brittle nails, your hair can start falling out, and you can get very dry skin. Another common cause of dry, itchy skin is eczema. So eczema is where we also have a difficult time holding onto moisture. We might have other factors like deficiency in filaggrin or a protein to hold on to moisture in our skin. And so we can get dry, scaly skin, especially that fish scale look on our legs called ichthyosis vulgaris. That's very common to see in young kids to adults, and I can relate to that fish scale look on the shins. So eczema can progress going from a localized patch and then progress to being a diffuse rash all over the body and the face. When you're a baby, it can really affect your cheeks, the wrist area. And as you get older, as adults, your hands, your shins, your neck, your eyelids can get affected very readily. And you can get super infections or bacterial infections within your eczema rash. So many times we have to treat the bacteria in addition to anti-inflammatory agents, whether it's topical steroids, topical non-steroidal medications, or even oral and injectable medications to control the inflammation. So we'll be talking a little bit about some eczema tricks towards the end of this video, okay? So environmental triggers also play a huge part, like we talked about, change in weather or just cold weather in general. You can see flares in eczema in the folds, the elbow, the armpits, behind the knee in the summertime when we sweat more, but in general, most people worsen in the wintertime. Another environmental thing is just overwashing. We wash our hands a lot. Healthcare providers, we know that hand dermatitis from hand sanitizing constantly, and we just dry out our hands and we get that dry, flaky look, and it can even get to the point where it gets cracked and fissured. I know it's hard to minimize hand washing when we wanna have good hygiene in the hospital and the clinic, but we'll be talking about moisturizers today. All right, so when we look at moisturizers, we're gonna be talking about ceramides and lipids and urea, things like that that will help draw in water, help protect the skin barrier or repair the skin barrier, which is your top layer of skin that keeps the bad things out like allergens, microbes, irritants, and keeps the good in like moisture, hydration. So we'll be going through some moisturizers today, and I'll give you some good affordable options to consider. So tip number 1, have shorter, cooler showers if you can, not scalding hot. So it doesn't have to be cold showers or even lukewarm. A warm shower is good, but if you use scalding hot water, you're gonna be running into trouble because you're gonna strip your skin barrier of its natural oils. Also try to keep your showers to less than 8 minutes if you can. Over that, you can really damage your skin barrier and really wash away those natural oils, okay? And you don't have to necessarily decrease the frequency of your showers, but if you have severe eczema, you could decrease the frequency, or you just wash the folds, the areas that you really need to wash, like the genital area and the folds, and you don't have to necessarily wash the entire body every day. And that brings me into my next tip is use a gentle cleanser. Now, don't use any overly fragrant things like Irish Spring. Yes, it smells really good, but that will also strip your skin of its natural oils. If you are in doubt, use a gentle facial cleanser as a body wash. You can use CeraVe's Hydrating Cleanser, Vanicream's facial cleanser, Cetaphil's gentle skin cleanser, all great options for the body and the folds if you don't want to irritate your skin. If you want a dedicated body wash though, my favorite is Eucerin's Eczema Body Wash. That's a great one. You can use a baby wash by Aquaphor. That's another body wash you could consider. That would be very gentle on the skin. When people make those videos that dermatologists don't want you to shower every day, that's totally baloney. We want you to shower every day and be hygienic, but you don't have to use anything strongly fragrance, and you don't have to also scrub your skin. So you can use a gentle, soft washcloth to wash the folds of the armpits. You can wash the neck. Do not scrub hard though. You can use your fingertips for your face. You don't have to have a dedicated scrubber for your face. I don't like loofahs. And even though I'm Asian, yes, we grew up with those really abrasive washcloths that can really, exfoliate the skin. Well, I would not recommend that if you have eczema or psoriasis, because that will make it worse, okay? And then after your showers, within 60 seconds, I know you want to just jump in your PJs when the weather is cold, but if you can pat dry and apply a moisturizer immediately after, that will help trap in the moisture you got from your shower. That's a 60-second rule. 60 seconds, try to get out, pat dry, get a moisturizer over your body, and that will help you, when you go to sleep, or if you shower in the morning, it'll help you stay hydrated throughout the day. My favorite moisturizers to slap on would be CeraVe's moisturizing cream or Cetaphil's moisturizing cream. Vanicream also makes a nice cream in a pump. I use that for my kids every night before they go to bed. After their showers, I'm putting that over them, and then they're gonna go to bed. If you wanna use something like Aquaphor or Vaseline for really dry skin, I'm okay with that as well. And then have them put their PJs over that to kind of lock in all of that moisture, and you're slugging that moisture in with the thicker ointment, and then their PJs to help keep it all in place. And that brings me to tip number 4, consider thicker textured moisturizers in the wintertime or in the colder weather. Go from lotions that are in a pump, like Cetaphil, CeraVe, they have lotions that are great and in a pump, but you might want to switch over to the cream in the tub in the wintertime, because that will be better at being occlusive and having a nice film over the top to lock in that hydration. Also, you can consider ingredients with urea in those creams, or lactic acid if you want to work on, say, really dry skin on the back of your arms called keratosis pilaris. You have dry, cracked hands, you have dry, cracked elbows and knees. You can consider urea-based products like Eucerin Advanced Repair Cream, one of my favorite body moisturizers out there. That's an awesome one with urea, higher concentrations of urea, which is a humectant that draws in water, but also exfoliates dead skin as well. So great for just overall body, but focusing on elbows and knees where you have thicker skin, and you can bring it down to your feet and also to your hands. And tip number 5, don't forget your hands. That's another thing. I have patients who come in with really bad hand eczema or dermatitis. They're not all healthcare providers, but a lot of them are working in the hospital or clinic, and we're washing our hands frequently. And so you could use something as easy as Vaseline, but it gets sticky and it starts to get all over the place. You get that greasy film all over your interior of your car, your desk. And so if you want some nice creams, I like Ulta MD's hand cream. CeraVe has done a good job with their hand creams. My medical assistants really like CeraVe's hand cream. I love Neutrogena's Norwegian formula hand cream. It's one of the best, dimethicone based, so silky and rubs in well, no sticky film afterwards, so that's great. When it comes to eczema though, there is that microbiome, right? When you have eczema, you have less proteins to fight bacteria. And so I wanted to end this video by talking about the microbiome. We have good bacteria and bad bacteria that's pathogenic and can cause infections. Impetigo is one example. And you can see impetigo in eczema if it goes on with open cracks in your skin barrier and you have bacteria jumping in, staph and strep. And we have to treat it with either topical antibiotics like mupirocin or oral antibiotics. How do we try to regulate the microbiome? We don't want to destroy good bacteria, but we don't want the bad bacteria to get into exposed, dry, cracked skin. So I like bleach baths, diluted bleach baths, and I know a lot of people look at me like I'm crazy when I mention that, but dermatologists love bleach baths. The recipe is 1/4 cup in 20 gallons of water or half full tub of water. Whether it's your pediatric patient or adult, sit in it for about 10 minutes. You do it 3 times a week. You rinse off the bleach water and apply either your medications or your moisturizer right after the bath. It's a much cleaner option than going to the public pool. Public pools are disgusting. They're full of bacteria. They even found that they have amoeba in the chlorinated pool water. So even though it's chlorinated, it can still harbor a lot of bacteria that have made people sick. And so you're having your own personal clean swimming pool, and it will help decrease the inflammatory markers in your skin and also level out the bad bacteria that's inhabiting the eczema rash. So you're just doing those two things, working on the bad bacteria and also helping with decreasing inflammation. So I've had patients do that as a supplement to their topical regimen. So always talk to your doctor about if you're a good candidate for diluted bleach baths, and always soak from the neck down. Never dunk your head in the diluted bleach. don't soak in undiluted bleach. You want to dilute down the bleach, okay? The other thing I like to talk about is this other special moisturizer by La Roche-Posay, their Lipicar Balm AP. If you get the AP plus M, that really is great because it's gonna work on up-regulating good bacteria, down-regulating the bad bacteria, and it promotes a nice healthy microbiome balance on your skin. So it's gonna be moisturizing, plus it's gonna work on the skin's microbiome, which we need to work on more as we progress with new products. So they have nice studies that I was able to review. It really works well with prescription medications I would prescribe for eczema. So that's a really nice one to consider. One of my favorite overall body moisturizers. I use it for my son who has dry skin, and so consider that one as a nice overall body moisturizer for the family, okay? Please drop a comment if you have had any favorite body moisturizers or facial moisturizers on the market that you found works really well for you. I talk a lot about facial care, but today body care definitely wanted to highlight. And so thank you for subscribing to the channel and for hitting that bell notification for new videos every Saturday. So have a nice fall season, guys, and stay moisturized. Peace.